Back at it again, and we got to talk about Kevin McCarthy today. Yep, the guy that recently quit. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's take a little trip down memory lane real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes, too. Let's dive in.
28 past the hour, breaking news out of Capitol Hill just in the last few minutes. Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who previously served as House Speaker, has just penned an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal saying that he is leaving the House of Representatives at the end of this year. Let's go right to NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles. Also with us is former Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo, an NBC News analyst. So, Ryan, what do we know about this?
Well, it's not a surprise, Jose. There has been a lot of speculation about Kevin McCarthy's future after he was removed from the Speaker's office in that drama that took place just a couple of months ago. And there were very few people here on Capitol Hill that felt that McCarthy would hang around in a backbencher capacity. There was many that believed that he was serving as somewhat of a distraction inside the House conference rooms as the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, got his footing and was looking to pave a new path for House Republicans. Plus, there was just an awful lot of animosity between that group of conservative Republicans that booted McCarthy and the rest of the conference, and McCarthy lingering around as part of that served as that distraction. And what Kevin McCarthy has said in this op-ed that he penned for the Wall Street Journal, which made his plans clear, is that he intends to step down before the end of the year, basically at the end of the year, which means that that will create a vacancy for his Bakersfield, California area House district seat. And that's important, Jose, because as you'll recall, just last week, the House expelled George Santos, another Republican member. That reduced their margins from 4 seats down to 3. Now with McCarthy leaving, that means they will only have a 2-seat majority. And there's another congressman from Ohio who is expected to step down in the new year to take on a new role as the president of Youngstown State University. That's all to say that it's already been very difficult for Republicans to pass any sort of legislation from the House, and this is going to make that process even more difficult. Now, McCarthy, unlike Santos, represents a Republican-heavy district. It's very likely that he will ultimately be replaced by a Republican, but that is a process. It takes anywhere from 70 to 90 days based on when Governor Gavin Newsom will call for a special election to replace McCarthy, and he can't do that until he officially resigns from his seat. So that's going to be an extended period of time where those 2 seats will be vacant and not held by Republicans, making the already difficult job of the current Speaker, Mike Johnson, that much more difficult.
Yeah. Kevin McCarthy putting us in a terrible position, and he's honestly been proven to be a liar once again, right? So I'm not too shocked, and I won't be too shocked when Gavin Newsom pushes this whole, special election thing out even further to ensure that Republicans have the slimmest margin for the longest period of time possible. I wouldn't be shocked by that. We also need to make sure that we're doing our research on who this next individual is, or who the next candidates are. Maybe I'll make a video on it myself once I dig into this a bit more, to make sure that we actually get a good, true Republican in Kevin McCarthy's place, and not just another Kevin McCarthy or Kevin McCarthy light. We need true Republicans. We are done, or at least should be done, with putting in rhinos. We've seen how that has, or where that has taken us, and we need to go a different direction, in my humble opinion. But listen to this clip from Kevin McCarthy from not very long ago. He's nothing but a liar. Check it out.
Your question is, just give up and quit. I'm the wrong guy to ask that question to. I never quit. I'm not working for some member sitting in our office. I'm working for this country, and I'm never going to give up on the American people. I'm going to work every day. And you know what? If I come up short today, I'm going to work harder tomorrow. That's what I do. You're
not going to quit. Yeah. Okay. No better than these Democrats, man. It's just the recurring theme. Like, he just does everything the Democrats do. But, the reason for this video is some statements or comments that Kevin McCarthy recently made that will probably, if you didn't know who Kevin McCarthy was and you couldn't watch this clip, right, and you just could hear the audio, I guarantee you would think this was a Democrat that was talking. Now, all of you, I want you to sit back and listen to this clip that I'm about to play. And you tell me, does he sound like a Republican or does he sound like a Democrat? Check it out.
I look over at the Democrats and they stand up. They look like America. We stand up. We look like the most restrictive country club in America. And I decide then either I am going to be the leader of a declining end of a party or I have to change the opportunity in this party. So I embrace in something else, okay? Since that time, we've elected the most women, Republicans, the most minority Republicans ever to the House. But to do so, I'm going to have to ruffle feathers. So for a Republican woman or Republican minority to win, the November election is not their tough election, it's the primary. So what I do is I would engage in primaries. And I would help. And sometimes you lose some, sometimes you have problems. I look over at the Democrats.
Your ears did not deceive you. He said that. Now let's play that again, and I'm gonna bust it down, piece by piece.
I look over at the Democrats and they stand up. They look like America. We stand up. We look like the most restrictive country club in America. And I decide then either I am going to be the leader of a declining end of a party.
Declining end of a party. So let me think about this. So the declining end is Trump being ahead of Biden in every single poll. That's a declining party. Hold on. Let me bring that up because I think I had the recent polls up. So this is the declining party. That's what this is. Pennsylvania, Trump up by 7. This is with RFK Jr. in these polls as well. Arizona, Trump up by 7. Georgia, Trump up by 10. Florida, Trump up by 10. North Carolina, Trump up by 9. Michigan, Trump up by 1. He was just tied. I think Michigan was one of the places where Biden and Trump were tied. Now he's ahead. This is a declining party. This is from December 5th. Okay? What's today's date? The 10th. So 5 days ago. That's a declining party? No, Kevin McCarthy, what I think you meant to say is a declining establishment party, right? That's what I think you meant to say, because there's a difference between true Republicans and the establishment, okay? And in true Republicans, there's only maybe, 25 true Republicans, in my humble opinion, between the House and the Senate. 25. Matt Gaetz, Byron Donalds, Lauren Boebert, Jim Jordan, those kinds of folks. 25. Josh Hawley, 25. The rest, they're all establishment puppets. I don't consider them Republicans. And that's what you meant, Kevin McCarthy. And you're one of the establishment puppets. That's the declining party that you were mentioning. It ain't the Republican Party. It's the establishment party. That's declining. And when he says, when Democrats stand up and they look like America, Democrats stand up and they look like the worst group of individuals trying to run a country that I have ever seen, ever. They're trying to take a great country and turn it into this horrible mess. And honestly, they're kind of succeeding. Now, because they were succeeding, they've woken a lot of people up, and it will soon reverse. But Kevin McCarthy's worried about being kicked out, which is why I think he's just leaving now. Just saying.
Or I have to change the opportunity in this party. So I embrace in something else, okay? Since that time, we've elected the most women, Republicans, the most minority Republicans ever to the House. But to do so, I'm going to have to ruffle feathers. So for a Republican woman or Republican minority to win, the November election is not their tough election, it's the primary. So what I do is I would engage in primaries. And I would help. And sometimes you lose some, sometimes you have problems.
Sounds just like a Democrat. Why do you care about race so much? Why does race matter? Is it because you think simply because I'm black, I'm supposed to agree with all black people? That's kind of racist. You think we all think the same? None of us are individuals? That sounds like a terrible thing to me. It should not matter what your gender is. Don't care. You could be an elephant for all I care. You could be a lion. Don't matter to me. If you can get the job done, you can get the job done. Now, I don't know how a elephant or a lion would get policy done, but hey, I've seen some crazy things. That's all that should matter, though. If you can get the job done, can you get the job done? And can you do it well? Don't care whether you're tall, whether you're short, you're fat, you're skinny, you're black, you're white, you're Latino, you're Asian, whatever. That should not matter. But Democrats are the ones that are always throwing it into this. Skin color, skin color, skin color, skin color, gender. Kevin McCarthy as well. What a coinky dink. Why does that matter? Get the job done. Can you do it well? Those should be the only two requirements. Can you get the job done and can you do it well? Why do I care what your gender is or whatever? See, and this is the crazy part about all of this. Democrats always accuse Republicans of being, the terrible people and the ones that discriminate and all of this. But Democrats are the only ones that truly care about all of that stuff. Like, we don't talk about that. We care about results. Don't matter who you are. Your skin color could be purple for all I care. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you can get the job done. Now, this brother here, I believe his name is Corey. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but it's Corey on X. But he made a video that I thought was really, really interesting, and I 100% agree with it. Check it out.
And when you look at the Democrats, they actually look like America. When I look at my party, we look like the most restrictive country club in America.
Speaking of restrictive clubs, that shirt you're wearing in this press conference is pretty interesting, Mr. McCarthy. That looks like the owl of the Bohemian Club. You know, that secret group of elites that meets in the woods of California dressed in robes to do a ritual like the cremation of care where they call on ancient deities and sacrifice a mock human to Moloch. Now let's...
Allegedly, of course. Allegedly. I gotta say that.
Address your statement about Democrats looking like America. To me, Democrats look like a party that panders to minorities, gets the vote, and continue to do what they've done for the last 60 years, which is institute policies that have destroyed their communities. Democrats look like a party that tried to stop the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. They look like the party that tried to continue slavery, the party that started the Klan, the party that tried to stop civil rights for black people, the party that didn't want black people to vote, the party that has opened our borders in order to replace the black American vote with illegal immigrant votes. They look like a party that forced children to wear masks on their face for 8 hours a day for their safety, even though it harmed them physically and psychologically. Democrats look like a party that coerced and forced you to put something in your body you didn't want in your body in order to keep your job, to provide for your family, in order to go to the grocery stores and just live a normal life. Democrats look like a party who've raised the cost of living. Democrats look like a party that wants to divide everyone up by race, to the point to where no longer are we just all Americans, but your skin color matters more than your character. So, Mr. Bohemian, if you like to be a Democrat, have at it. Seems like you already have.
Boom. Shout out to the brother Corey. 100% agree. Top to bottom. Shout out to Corey, man. Incredible. And it's completely on point. And I agree with that. Hold on. I gotta play that last statement again.
Are we just all Americans, but your skin color matters more than your character. So, Mr. Bohemian, if you like to be a Democrat, have at it. Seems like you already have.
McCarthy, if you wanted to be a Democrat, you could have just said that. you didn't have to pretend this whole time. Oh no, I'm a Republican. I mean, we all knew. There's a lot more of you too. I mean, we gonna get y'all out here soon. Don't worry about it. You've been exposed. All of you have been exposed. When Matt Gaetz did what the people wanted, and kicked you out, he exposed a lot of people that stand with you, right? A lot of you Democrats who put on a front that you're actually Republicans, you've been exposed already. So just say that you want to be a Democrat. Just say that. Just say it. You're leaving anyway. And the rest of your buddies and whatever that are there with you, they're going to get voted out right behind you. So it don't matter anymore. We know. We see. We can see clearly now. The rain is gone. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I can't wait. And I said this before. The Republican Party is going to look a whole lot different. The voting base is going to look a whole lot different. You're going to have a lot more black people, a lot more Latinos, you know, that will be voting Republican and openly voting Republican and supporting Republicans. And also the politicians will look a whole lot different and sound a whole lot different. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. It will be a good thing for America. And I can't wait. So to Kevin McCarthy, don't let the door hit you on the way out. We don't want you back. I'm out.